Hello, I'm Rabbi Sarah Brandis with Awakened Body, and this is day one of our spring seasonal cleanse, a 40-day journey of transformation and rebirth, rebooting body, mind, and spirit. If you want to know more, if you're not cleansing with us, check out awakenedbody.org/welcome. And if you are, we are here now to talk about Elimination Week. So at Awakened Body, we make use of the CLEAN program designed by cardiologist Dr. Alejandro Junger. I love this program. It offers a really profound reboot for the body. It coaches us in getting to know our body again and realigning. The body knows what's good for it. And we only need to learn how to listen and to follow its cues. And so often we live these fast-paced lives. We eat food that's grown thousands of miles away from where we are. So much processed food, so much synthetics that all of our signals get crossed. So clean is a wonderful, wonderful way to untangle all those crossed wires. That's why we recommend it. And really all participants at Awakened Body, whether you're coming in for hands-on work once a week or you're healing from a distance, we encourage everybody to take on one seasonal cleanse a year. I am challenging you right now to commit to at least one practice for body, mind, and spirit. So this morning we talked a bit about meditation and committing to 5 minutes of meditation morning and night to hold and center each of your days of your 40-day journey of transformation. And right now I want to talk about the body-based practice about the CLEAN program. Now, if you've watched the Simplifying CLEAN video in your resource library and decided that the full CLEAN program is just not for you, then that's fine. And I want to encourage you to reach out and let us help you customize. Take on at least one practice. Even if you're not going to do all of CLEAN, I want to encourage you to do this week with us, which in the CLEAN program is called the Elimination Week. So we need to talk now about food addictions. It's time for us to admit that food impacts the body just like drugs do. So I find it useful in giving examples to talk about the drug cocaine, because cocaine is a simple synthetic that almost exactly replicates the neurotransmitter dopamine in the body. So dopamine is like a key in a keyhole meant to have the body feel pleasure. Simple, simple pleasure. That feeling of yum. Yes, more please. This isn't even a well-being hormone. It's just straight pleasure. And so the body naturally releases dopamine in all kinds of settings when it wants to positively reinforce whatever it is we're doing, food most certainly included. And cocaine is synthetic dopamine. And so for people who ingest the illegal drug cocaine, they ingest it and they immediately are putting a key into the keyhole, feeding those dopamine receptors, and they get that synthetic yum. So when we talk about cocaine, we know that cocaine is an addictive drug, illegal illicit substance. We tend to talk about food, though, as something else entirely. But the reality is that the food and our body systems for hunger and for nourishment are directly connected to our pleasure systems. And I'll send out a link to a really extensive podcast on this subject for those of you who are in our self-guided or our community cleanse. The cues that our body sends out connected to hunger and fullness, the ways that those cues relate to our nutrition, they are deeply connected to our pleasure system. Food functions in the body like a drug. And part of your seasonal cleanse is getting to know the way those meeting points between your physical self, your physical well-being, and the way that those things interact with your emotional well-being and with your spiritual well-being. And in order to do that, we need to begin to talk about food addictions. So we'll get more into this as we go further into the CLEAN program. Right now, Elimination Week, our challenge is to cut out all of those things we might be addicted to. So Yesterday, the Jewish community marked the holiday of Passover. And so the Jewish community, in and of itself, is in a large scale elimination week, because this is a week that we don't eat what's called chametz. Chametz is any product of one of the five major grains that they used to make bread during the time of the Bible. So chametz is the interaction when you put any of these five grains and they interact with water for more than 18 minutes. Wheat, barley, oat, spelt, rye, they puff up, and what you get is chametz. So the Jewish people, we take on this purification practice for the week of Pesach, where we say that anything that's puffed up in that way, we're going to set it aside. And we're going to do that as a way of cultivating and embracing our freedom. So the spring seasonal cleanse at Awakened Body just leans into this practice, and it says go with it, but go with it in a way that's informed by science and that it's based on deep body listening. Now, if you're part of the Catholic tradition, maybe you did this a few weeks back for Lent, and I think next year we'll run the spring cleanse aligned with Lent as well. So during your elimination week, your challenge is to just stop with any of those foods that you might be addicted to. So certainly we're talking about alcohol, caffeine, refined sugar, if you eat a lot of sugar, or if you find that you use sugar for a pick-me-up. Some of us are addicted to highly fatty foods. The reason that we separate out this process from the intensive 21-day clean program, which we will start next Monday, is that the intensive 21-day program is rigorous in its own right. Days 3 through 5 of that program are going to be challenging for you. And you don't want to be in withdrawal from something your body is addicted to while you're in your early days of the cleanse and you're really getting to know the body and tuning in and listening to the body's messages that are going to be arising for you in that first real week of clean. So, if you haven't already, I really want to encourage you to use one of the links on the website and download or purchase a copy of Clean, which is Dr. Junger's orientation to the 21-day program called Clean. We have lots of resources too in your video library that they give you some sort of teasers and highlight additional aspects of Clean that you can check out. But this is the time to be reading the book Clean, where he goes much more in depth into Elimination Week. For you, your practice this week is to challenge yourself, and you can go one at a time if it feels overwhelming, to just begin to taper off those things that you're addicted to. So the most common addiction that we tend to work with is those of us who are addicted to coffee. So if you feel that you just cannot make it through your day without several cups of coffee, then I know there's some fear arising for you right now. I want you to reach out. We're here to support you. And if that fear is arising, that is a clue that you need to take this on. You need to take this on. So whether it's caffeine, whether it's alcohol, if you can't get through the end of a day without a drink, then for this seasonal cleanse, I'm going to encourage you to challenge yourself in that way so that you can see what comes on the other side. You know, in the Jewish tradition, we are in spring is the time of Passover, which is the festival of freedom. And there is no better metaphor for that sense of true liberation than being free of addiction. Addiction is a brain-based process by which we, little by little, stop doing those things that are the most productive, supportive to our overall thriving because of a dependence on any particular substance that, although it is not wholesome, beneficial to us, we become dependent on it, and so we embrace it instead of embracing wholesome practices. So just staying on the topic of caffeine, now caffeine isn't all bad, and if you work with us year round, having a cup of black coffee a day, there's all kinds of good evidence that it can have really positive impacts on the body, on metabolism, on overall sense of vitality. But if you're if the what feels to you like energized is actually the short-term impact of the chemical caffeine, then um, then there are well springs of energy that are waiting for you around the bend. But the prerequisite to getting there is setting aside the addiction. So I encourage you to download or order the book Clean to read the section on Elimination Week. We are in Elimination Week, and to begin to challenge yourself little by little, day by day, step by step, to wean off of any food substances that are addictions for you. One quick note: nicotine, those who ingest nicotine tend to ingest it in cigarettes by smoking. Obviously, smoking is not eating. Obviously, smoking is not healthy for your body, and nicotine is a highly addictive substance. Can you smoke while you cleanse? You can. Can you use clean as an opportunity to move beyond nicotine addiction? Of course you can. And if you'd like some guidance with that, please do reach out. Blessings on your way.